Hey everyone, Scotch192 here, and welcome to my thoughts on the extended cut DLC for Mass Effect 3. Well, I beat the extended cut yesterday. I done my live reaction. I beat it on the day of release. I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description. If you haven't seen my live reaction, it is 6 parts. If you really want to see my ending, part 4 and part 6 are my reaction to the ending. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description, and you can go and check it out. It's getting decent views. It's actually in total had near enough 1,000 views in total combined. So thank you all for that. I really do appreciate it. But I have received a couple of wee comments or two after I voiced my opinion on the ending. Remember, that was my live reaction, so it was live. I can't edit it, I can't change it, and that's it. Okay, I did a live reaction to the ending. I needed to do a live reaction to the extended cut DLC, and this is my overall thoughts on the ending. Now, firstly, let me just get it out there that if you haven't seen it, there are going to be spoilers, by the way. I have seen all of the endings. I went and checked them out on YouTube because I only done 2 of the endings. One ending which I find insulting, and the other ending was done fairly well. And I will happily admit, I'm going to get right out there, BioWare did it. I'll happily admit, BioWare did the impossible. They salvaged the ending barely. I still stick by my statement that I did in my live stream, that they shined that piece of shit ending, and it is still a shiny piece of shit though. I will still stick by that. The endings for me still are the exact same opinion I had with the original ending. They don't fit in the Mass Effect universe. It doesn't suit the character of Shepard. It does not fit the story, in my opinion. And I will stick by that ending. There are a lot of people who are praising the extended cut DLC. Don't praise it. I will happily admit that BioWare have kind of redeemed themselves in my eyes a little bit. Not majorly. I'm still a bit distrustworthy of them. I'm not done with BioWare, but I'm going to be very cautious when I buy their games now, because if the ending of Mass Effect 3 is to go by, I am scared for Dragon Age 3. I'll say that right now. Now, here's the thing that they added to the extended cut, just briefly. They added a couple of additional scenes and a clarification of a couple of the plot holes that were available. Like, how did your teammates get on the ship? Why did Joker leave? What else was there? How Shepard, it actually shows Shepard actually getting teleported up to the Citadel and launched, so you get to see that. It explains why the entire fleet, the mass relays aren't completely destroyed. It's only the internal mechanism that's destroyed, so that explains why they can be rebuilt. The Normandy's engines don't blow up this time, which is cool. And then, of course, there's the big thing. And also well, I call him Casper the Genocidal Ghost. But the Godchild, I still hate him. He still doesn't belong in the ending. I'm sorry, I fucking hate the Godchild. I will not accept the Godchild. I don't care how well they explained it that he's an AI. I still don't like it. I honestly don't. I'm sorry. I do not like the Godchild. I never have, and I never will. It can go fuck itself. Overall though, they did manage to salvage the ending, but the ending is still a piece of shit, and it still feels to me rushed beyond belief. But with what time they had, BioWare had done a good job. I'll happily admit that. But all the scenes that they added were okay. They solved a couple of plot holes. Although I do love the fact that while your team, who you take with you, if you take the romance, is a very touching scene, especially Tally's one, from my personal opinion, because Tally's one was so fucking emotional, and I won't spoil it for anyone, but I'd recommend you go check it out if you haven't. Take your romance with you at the end because they geeked it. But the only thing I don't get is, why is Harbinger just still sitting there doing fuck all? I mean, literally, he just sits there and stares at you and go, alright, I'm going to be very patient and wait for you get your team on there, instead of doing the obvious thing and firing my giant ass red laser beam at the Normandy, killing everyone on board, or at least destroying it. Still makes no sense, and I'm still not happy with the ending in whole, but it's still good. I'll happily admit that. It's better than what we've got. It's better than the original, I'll say that right now. But here's the thing, I'm going to talk about each ending individually. There are 4 endings to this. The first ending I done was I shot the Godchild. You can actually refuse to do what the Godchild says and also shoot him. I would not recommend it though, because it is the biggest fucking insult that I think it's even worse than the original ending. I'm sorry. The fourth ending basically is you lose. There's no if, no buts, no whats. The one major complaint that I've got about this is still war assets mean jack fucking shit still. Literally, hours upon hours of gathering resources means fuck all besides getting an additional scene at the end of the Destroyer ending. It's still the war assets, fuck them. They don't mean anything. That's it. They don't mean anything, which is bullshit. I still fucking hate that. So basically, if you shoot the God Child like I did, which was immensely satisfying, I'll happily admit that, I wish it killed him, his voice actually changes to Harbinger's voice. For me anyway, it sounds like Harbinger's voice, so that just says to me, could this be indoctrination still? I know that, but this ending, the new extended cut kind of tosses the indoctrination theory out of the window, and the only way that will make sense now is if you're grasping at straws. I'm not grasping at straws, but I think the indoctrination theory could still have merit if they worked not around the original ending, but some of the stuff in it still leads way to the indoctrination theory, but a lot of the stuff that did is kind of out the window. It's still very thin, but I still think the indoctrination theory had plausibility. But you can shoot the gotcha, and basically all you get, that little box that Liara did, like recording all the information and all that you get to see that. You get to see that, what happened there, but you lose. There's no if, no buts, no was, no final stand, like, you can't pull up a lawn chair and you won't win. The Reapers literally just annihilate you, which pissed me off beyond fucking belief. And it's a bigger insult than the original ending. I'm sorry. They should have just left that fucking ending out, and in my opinion. The other endings, I'll do a quick summary of. The Destroyer ending doesn't change that much. All the endings don't change that much besides the epilogue and a few additional scenes. And the endings are virtually identical still, like the same explosion. There are some minor differences, I'll happily admit that. They are different enough to let away with their similarities. However, it's the epilogue that I'm going to focus on. There are 3 epilogues, as of course, 4 if you include the fucking shit, fucking you lose ending, the big middle finger ending. The Destroyer epilogue is read by Admiral Hackett, and I think it's the best one in my opinion because it suits my character mostly. If you don't think it's so, but just it makes more sense. The whole thing is though, you had to kill all synthetic life, which I'm very sad. I had to kill Edie and the Geth, although it still showed the Geth and the Quarians working together in my epilogue. So maybe I didn't destroy the Geth. I don't know. And the main difference with me is that like the memorial wall in all of the endings is slightly different. It does have Captain Anderson, and it has your romance getting ready to put your name up on it. And the Destroyer ending, they actually, refuse to put your name up on it, which is very touching. That's what I wanted. I just wanted that memorial wall just to be there in the ending to say your sacrifice was worth it. So that was fantastic, I'll happily admit that. But your romance doesn't put it up. Your romance refuses to put it up in the Destroyer ending because they go and see if you're still alive. The synthesis ending is actually quite touching because it's read by Edie. It's said it by Edie, like narrating it, and it's very touching, very sweet. She basically just says, "I am alive," and that's the whole thing, like the union thing. But I'm going to say this right now: I don't like the synthesis ending because 2 reasons. One, it kind of it's not an insult. It just doesn't fit the theme of the Mass Effect universe, in my opinion. It just doesn't fit in the overall story arc of Mass Effect. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. I think the synthesis ending is the worst ending because it just doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense to have that option in a game, in Mass Effect 3, in the Mass Effect universe, because it just doesn't fit the Mass Effect universe or the overall theme of the games, in my opinion. I know we can debate, but it's about unity, and the synthesis ending is unity. No, the synthesis ending is basically a compromise. In my opinion, what makes the Geth, for example, so unique is the fact that they were synthetics, and of course Edie as well, and they learned, with a lot of enhancement to their code, learned to get emotions, and that was very sweet. The synthesis ending just makes them fucked up. I'm sorry, I don't like the synthesis ending, it's fucking horrible. The control ending is kind of cool, I will admit, even though it is still one of the weaker endings. My opinion, it's just the same as except it's read by Reaper Shepherd, which is kind of weird.